Okay, let's see if anybody's here. Because now I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to share it with you. So the first thing is, can you guys hear me? Awesome. I always thought it's like that. Even like forget hello. It's always, oh, how are you? Can I share a doc? Oh, Mr. So I used to use StreamYard. It's a different platform. I'm trying to, how do I open something? How would I press no? All right, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me see if I can put this in the actual recharge event. Can I add this here? File. No, of course not. Why would be able to fill it there? I'm moving off Facebook, guys, and I cannot wait for this to freaking happen because this is so stupid. Things get lost all the time. So I'm going to put it here. Can I put it here? Upload file. Someone that says one. Fine, whatever. I did 2 versions of it. Here you are. And you're going to get the one that has the one on it. Let's see if I can add that to the comments and to the event. I'm sorry. Oh my eyes. There we go. Okay. How can I share this? See original post. Can I share this post? Please tell me I can share this. Add it. Same one. What? This is so stupid. Can I not just do it? I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm going to do a second. I'm going to give you an email. That's what I'm going to do. Ha, ha, ha. And I'm going to also give you that link to the actual post in the thing. In the event. No, it's not letting me do it in an event. It's letting me do it in the actual. Here, I'm going to shut up so I don't confuse you guys. Hang on. I'm going to upload. And I had to finish it because apparently there's parts of it didn't work. Oh my God, guys. Swear, I was actually prepared for this. I promise. So, she says. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I'm just literally putting it workbook, not putting anything else in it. I'm just going to give it straight there. Subscribe to tags, and it's recharge. So right now, got a filter, all 34 of you. That's not going to work. Okay, hang on. How do I share this? Can I do everyone? There. Okay. And forget the email because that's just effing up too. I have just uploaded the recharge. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hang on. Okay. And after this, I swear to God, we'll get going. Okay. Can you see this? Okay. If you go into the recharge your batteries actual group or cell, I don't think you're part of it. So I'm going to have to give it to you separately. Oh my God, this sucks. Actually, even if you go to this, I think you can find it to this. Make sure you're actually there. Oh, this is all clusterfuck. Or cell. If you go into the files, there you go. You will go into the files. You'll actually see here. It is rechargeable solo parenting batteries. Can you guys see that? I can't hear you guys. That's ridiculous. Can I put it? Oh my God.
Sorry, where did you save it on the event?
I hate Facebook. Okay, so if you go to to the actual recharge or solo parenting batteries, which is right here, or cell, I just sent you an invite to it. You go into there. If you see here, it says discussion, featured, members, events, and files. Actually, it's right here. It should be right in the very front. Is it showing up on your side, guys? Okay, Suvi's got it. Ursel, do you see it? Yeah, no problem. Jen, where are you, darling? Oh, you're there. Hi. Oh, you're in the car. You're dedicated. I love it. Okay, so you can't see it either. Just God damn it. All right, I'm gonna do for you guys since you're part of the
I
group.
can see it.
I know it's the problem. This is again why I want to get off freaking Facebook because things get lost all the time. I'm gonna put this in your a second Phoenix sessions. All right, I'm going to put it in your resource files, guys.
Yeah, that's better because I can see it.
No problem.
No.
It's fine.
Thank you.
My bad. Okay, so Ursel, Jen, if you go into this folder, go back to here. I just put a link in the chat. That will go to our guys members folders in the drive, and you should be able to get it from there. If you don't request access, but I'm really hoping everything works out. All good? Okay, take your time. You know what? I'm going to dive in because we can check in later on to see whether people have got it or not. We're not going to dive into it right away. So it'll get some time for people to show up, to have a chance to download the workbook. Yay! And to go forward. So before we do anything, guys, I want to, first of all, thank you so much for being here. It has been a very long week. I cannot say how much I am loving this week. The timing for this is superb. I think I mentioned to some of you guys over the past little bit, but my husband's 11th year death anniversary is coming up tomorrow. Thankfully, I'm actually not that much out of body like I've been every other year. I'm actually a bit more grounded this time, which is good. Am I actually, I don't need to share anymore. Stop sharing. You don't need to see that anymore. You don't need to have any notes right now. You're here. We are so glad to have this. This has been such a grounding week for me. And I found that as we've gone through the week, those of you who have participated, thank you so much. You have been amazing. I'm seeing a lot of the things that are kind of coming into place, the right timing for you too. And I want to thank you so much for being here. It's amazing. Phoenix members, if you haven't not been able to be part of this, that is fine. It's because you are Phoenix members, you are going to be getting lifetime access to this. It's going to be part of our channel in YouTube. Eventually, when everything moves into Circle, you'll have it there too, because this is going to be a challenge that I've done. This is the third time I've done it now. It's gotten better each time. I've added more resources. I've plumped up more value. It's going to keep going. So as you're with me, even you'll always get lifetime access to this, as well as any of the upgrades. That going forward, let us regroup, kind of stay here for a little bit. We are going to start, because people haven't jumped in yet, we're going to start with a brief MEPS, just to get everything here as we usually do. MEPS, for those of you who are not used to it, what we do is we do how we are mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. If you're not feeling spiritual yet, you can go into how are you doing socially. And before we do that, because we do have new people in this group, if you can take 5-10 seconds to say who you are, how long you've been grieving. You can even say a tiny bit about how they died if you want. If you have any kids, obviously you do, how old they are. Share your own name if possible. Just briefly, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. And then your MEPS. So I'll go first. Try to center myself a little bit too. You know me. I am Sarah Gallagher. 10, almost 11 years now of being a solo parent, unexpected widow, unwanted solo parent. I am now 48 years old, which is ridiculous. I mean, I was 37 when my husband died. My son was 2.5. My daughter was not yet born. She was conceived a year after he died, which is a completely different story. But they're both here. They are both I'm bringing them up with a dead father in their lives, and it's fine. They are actually, we're normalizing grief and our family and everywhere else we can touch. And I'm here for you guys. I didn't plan this, but I used to be a project manager in content development, and I've switched into doing this about 4 years into my grief because it was my calling. It was my spark to keep me going, as well as my kids. And now I'm just exploding. So I'm here. Mentally, I am actually feeling so much better, guys. I am feeling so much more controlled. I am not going off kilter for the most part, except for right now. Everything is lining up to place this year, especially now, which is amazing, which means emotionally, I'm actually doing a heck of a lot that matter now than I was expecting to, like even from 2 weeks ago. And I think a lot of part of this horrible grammar, is because of this challenge. It is really, I cannot fortuitous, subconsciously said I had to do this, and here we are. Physically, I am on top. I am doing my yoga. I'm trying different programs. I'm falling over on my balance, which means I'm using different muscles, which is good to kind of connect myself. Spiritually, I'm really starting to tap into this, and it's taken some time for it to really open up. As I mentioned, I think I did show you guys in the group. I wanted to show it to you. This is I can't see it because I'm blurred out. It's usually, so you can't really see it. I don't know if you guys do tarot. I don't know if you do anything. I am everything. Everything is all connected. I don't care what you call it. You're here. Basically, what this was telling me, guys, it's literally was it grief, healing, go back to your shadow self, keep doing what you're doing, and ooh, look, inspiration. Like, it's just everything was like, you are doing what you need to do going forward, keep going. And I don't do this very often, but this one was like, what? There is like word grief in every single one of these things. Anyway, and then it's not just the grief of, like this one here isn't about, oh my God, dying. It's the upside down one. You can't see it. It's like, no, let's flip that. You are growing. This is the next part of it. This is the next chapter almost, but you're going to keep going with it. It doesn't go away. Normalizing grief, guys. And socially, if you guys, I've been very busy this week with this challenge. You guys have been now awesome. And thank you for that. As per usual, I've talked a bit too much. Jen, you are in the car. Are you able to talk, or are you completely distracted? Is it? Come back when you can. No worries. I see you. That being said, guys, I mean, Suvi, because you're here, I would, Marie's coming in. Yay! Actually, this is a good time. As we go around, so Jen, I'm not going to have you go next. Ursel, do you mind going next because you're used to doing this? Marie, I know you just joined up right here. If you want to put in your camera, that's fine. Really quick, guys, as we're going through this, if your kids show up, it's fine. If you have, I love this analogy, but if your kids fall out of a tree and you have to drop everything because mother's instinct says you have to be right there to catch them, because we do this, it's crazy, do it. Okay, listen to you, listen to your intuition. This is our lives. Ursel, if you could really briefly of who you are, where you are in your grief journey, why you're here, anything you want, and then your mess, please and thank you.
Hi, I'm Marcel. I've been a widow for 3 years and 8 months now. I have a 3-year-old daughter, 3 years old with 7 months. My husband died of COVID 1 month before my daughter was born. I'm a teacher abroad, so the people that know me know that sometimes my internet flakes. So if I disappear, it's pretty much the internet, probably that of my daughter. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. I started the RISE program. Well, I don't know how to call it, group, whatever, in October. So, and I've told Sarah this several times. I do feel that since I joined the group, my life has changed in a positive way. Even my therapist tells me this, so it's not only me. So yeah, maps mentally, it was a difficult week last week. I had some plans that did not follow through. So mentally I've been all over the place. Emotionally was like a roller coaster. But I think that the sadness that I had to go through this week really showed me some feelings that I had to deal with. So it was a learning experience, I think. So I'm trying to take a look at the positive around the negative. So that's a combination of mental and emotional. Spiritually, for the first time in a long time, maybe some things are connected and maybe things happen for a reason. Like, I don't know, maybe. I'm like, okay. Um, in a good way though. Socially, I was very happy to see that my friends here were really supportive after what I went through last week. Like they were really supportive. And one of them even told me, like, good things sometimes have to have difficulties in order to accept that they're good things, like to value and cherish them. So I like that point of view and I'm going to go with that. And I'm just really grateful to have those friends, which, I wrote them in the workbook you gave us, Sarah. Remember how you gave us the chart? So they're totally where I put them. That's where they belong. They're like just amazing. So yeah. Anyway, so
Did you
I'm
put
happy
that
to
in
be
the
here.
homework file folder?
Sorry?
Did you put that anywhere so I could look at it?
I think so. I
Okay.
don't remember, but I can look at it right now.
If you do, yeah, and let me know when you do because I love you. You're such a teacher. You do all the
I
work.
am. I am really excited about the workbook. I am. Just I do
Awesome.
like
Yeah, and we'll
everything
touch
better
base
than
now
fun.
that like my schedule is going to not be as crazy for this week, and you've kind of regrouped to see how you've. Yeah.
Yes. Yes,
Okay. All right.
we've talked. We've talked. Yes, we'll talk later.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jen, you're still. Let me know when you're. Put your Jen, when you are able to take yourself off mute, and I'll see that as your hand up. Okay. Suvi, are you okay with being next? Because you're the next person I see clearly right now. Awesome. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Suvi. I've been a widow for about 8.5 months now, since last August. So still pretty new and fresh into this. John, my husband, died of cancer. It was kind of like he was diagnosed and started treatment and things were supposed to go well, and he was supposed to be cured, and we were planning on getting over it and kind of living life again after. But then at 5 weeks before he died, the cancer jumped to the bone marrow and just like complicated everything. And it was just like this roller coaster ride for the last 5 weeks. So it was kind of, the end was really sudden and unexpected. Else? We have 2 daughters. He was 46 when he died. I was 47 and I'll be turning 48 this year. So it's kind of, that's hard too, kind of moving forward and having a birthday, getting older without him, I have 2 girls, 14 and 18. The 18-year-old has developmental disability, so she's developmentally younger. So she needs a lot more support, and she'll probably be living with me forever. So it's another thing that, wasn't expected. We thought we would be, doing this together, in the future. What else? Yeah, so the first I think like 5 months is just like a complete blur. Like I was just in this like deep dark pit place. Just I really wanted to like let myself have the time to grieve. And to just like feel it all. So I just focused on that. Like I took time off of work. And I think around 5 months, maybe I started feeling a little bit more lighter, like it kind of coming out of it. So at this point, I'm at 8 months, and yeah, I feel like I'm kind of slowly kind of emerging out of that like darkness.
There is this wonderful metaphor, and it's probably been beaten to death, but it's very, I was using it when I first started doing this. It's the idea of when the caterpillars, they go into their little cocoon and they turn into butterflies. They turn into mush. Like they goop down. Like they literally change everything, molecularly change and cellularly down to whatever. That's what they're going through right now.
Yeah.
And you're very slowly figuring out, am I ready to come out? Yeah, I'm not sure. How about this way? How about that way?
I still
That's
feel like I'm kind of like that, like 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future kind of thing. Just kind of still being
past, present, future,
pulled
totally.
back, but pulled forward. And yeah, so, but I feel like I've started to work a bit part-time. I work from home. I decided not to go back to my full-time 9 to 5 job, just so I could have more flexibility in my schedule with the girls and be home more and available to them. And yeah, I just felt like just even thinking about going back to that job, my body was just like, no, you cannot go. Like I just was really, it was hard choice to make. I felt really guilty and bad, but I had to listen to what my body was telling me. So
No kidding. Good for you.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
So at this moment then thank you. Oh my God, that was a lot. I appreciate you being so vulnerable, because that's to be that vulnerable and actually be that open and to be here at 8 months, honestly, amazing. I love it. I think keep going. So, and you're in safe hands here, no eggshells, like we get this. Okay, safe place, everything. So at this very moment, how would you define yourself feeling mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually or socially? And you don't need to go like in the big novels, just like how are you feeling in this moment for those things?
Or like kind of what I've been doing for those things, or
Well, at this time, like, for instance, right, mentally, how are you feeling mentally? Do you feel focused? Do you feel or scattered? Emotionally, is there an emotion you're feeling right now? And this is the kind of like in this moment, how are you feeling and all of this? If this is too much for you, that's cool too. If you
Oh,
can't,
it fluctuates, right? Like
yeah. Okay.
throughout the day. So like physically, I feel pretty good. I went for my walk. I go for a walk with the dog on the trails in the forest in my neighborhood. So I do my yoga in the morning. So I feel like I move my body and feel good that way physically.
Yeah.
Um, and then what emotionally and mentally?
Emotionally, mentally.
I don't know. I feel like kind of numb a lot, but then I kind of
Yeah.
have like waves of like extreme sadness and pain, and
Yes.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's coming less now. It feels like it's not like as
Okay.
frequent as at the beginning.
Yeah. No worries. Okay. I'll stop pressing. No worries. Okay. Stop. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Drop the hook. Go for it. I'm going to keep going too, because I want to make sure people have a chance to talk. So I apologize if I'm being rude. So anyway, Marie, hi. How are you? Is that your 3-year-old?
Yes, I'm here. She's having a hard day, so.
Oh, dude, what's going on?
Well, right now she can't have candy.
Right now, what?
She's having a hard time. She can't have candy, so she's having a
Oh,
breakdown.
these are big things, man. These are life-changing events right
I
now.
know. Yes.
How old are you, sweetheart?
Yeah. How old are you? Say 3?
She's had a hard week, huh? You've had a hard week.
Yeah.
Marie,
Well,
I mean, I know I've been reading your posts. Everybody been reading your posts. You are finding the time to do this, even though you are crazy busy solo parenting. And honestly, we understand this. And kudos to you for doing this and to showing up. Like, so for you, do you mind doing a little quick, who you are, how long you've been grieving, why you're here, and then just do like the reps if you can, which is how are you feeling right now, mentally, emotional, physically, and spiritually? If not spiritually, then socially.
okay. My husband died in a car accident in July of 23. I have a 3-year-old, just turned 13, and today 6-year-old. So yeah, it's my middle son's birthday. Um, I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a fog still. I know it's been a while, but it's hard to focus. I get overwhelmed very, very, very easy. So mentally, that's where I struggle the most. I keep telling my kids and my dogs and my cats, I'm just one person, and everybody wants me at the same time. Everybody needs something. Everything's going wrong. So just to be able to, I just need to learn how to handle that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Emotionally, I've been doing Grave Share, and that has helped a whole lot to just be able to talk with other people, and let, share, how I'm feeling. And so just being able to talk, which I'm not a talker, I don't like to share, what's going on in my mind and stuff. I used to write it all down, and I can't do that anymore. I just have a block where I just cannot write. So, but I do have a friend. So socially, I do have a friend who also knows grief a lot.
Mhm.
And I have been able to verbalize that with her, and that has been a big, big help. And then what else? I don't know. What
That's good.
else was there?
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Okay.
It's interesting how you're saying that you're not a talker and you're not vulnerable. So again, I want to say the your fact you feel safe enough to do that here, it's amazing. If you guys don't know me, and it probably doesn't seem that way. I am actually such an introvert, and my introvert, I mean, I get my energy from being alone. It takes a lot out of me to be out here and everything, which is, probably didn't seem that way. But I do this. This is why I'm here for you, because I have to be loud because we're just too quiet, and we need to be able to go, hey, we're here. Here we go. So I totally get that, and you will be able to write eventually. That's part of the figuring things out, right? Jen, hi, you made it home.
I did. I had an unexpected chauffeuring duty this morning, so good times. All right, so I am Jennifer on Facebook. I just went past our 5-year death anniversary. Right at the beginning of the shutdown, Mark had a stroke, and it took him 16 days to stop breathing. But he was basically brain dead in those 16 days. He had a stroke, told me he had a stroke. We got him to the hospital, and he had a second one that blew up the speech and language portion of his brain. And it was the type of stroke where the brain bleeds, not doesn't get oxygen. So there was little hope of recovery. And but he was so strong and healthy in every other part of his body that it took him 16 days to finally succumb. So they were 10 and 11 at the time, so now they're 15 and 16. I have a boy and a girl, and the solo parenting life of 2 teenagers is not for the weak. It's so hard, especially right now. My son just got back together with his girlfriend, and my daughter doesn't want her in the house, and told me that I'm a pushover and a bad parent, and she doesn't want her in the house because she's uncomfortable, and my son feels like I just bend over and make my daughter happy. So I'm not in a great place.
It's okay, sweetie. That's why we're here. How are you feeling?
Awful.
Yeah.
No one's happy with me. I'm not happy with myself. I'm not happy with them. And they don't get it that life is too precious to sweat these small things. And like, I think he's an idiot to go back to her, but I think it'll make him happier, even if it's just for prom, because I feel like she's just come around so she has a prom date. And um I just feel it's going to damage my relationship with my daughter because she's so black and white, cut and dry on everything that she's just, I don't know. And my son is so angry right now. It's not where he should be at the beginning of a relationship, even though it's a repeated relationship. So I feel like he's only gotten back to her because there's no one else. And he didn't pursue her, she pursued him. So I don't see that as healthy. So um I see the train wreck coming and I want to avoid it. And
And you can't, you know what I hate about this? Is like, okay, can't live their lives for them. Right. And we're like, listen, you've had the worst time. You've gone through the worst thing. You've lost your parent. I lost my husband. I mean, everything. And they were like, I mean, because you've gone through your thing and and we can't stop them from being a train wreck. We want to. We see it, right? And we can help them, we guide them. I've been having this, actually, this is again complete vulnerability. My son told, so I told you guys before, I think he had his first relationship. He had his first, he's 13. He had his first relationship, first kiss, first breakup, all within like a weekend. And then he's trying to get her back because he's like, I want to feel that thing. I want to feel that thing. He's been crying. He's been telling, and then he told her that he wants to kill himself. So she went to his mom, and his mom came to me. And I'm like, dude, okay, I tell her, listen, he's like goes through emotional stress, that he broke up with your daughter and everything. She's like, wait, what? I'm like, oh my God. Now he's mad at me because I told her mom and I wasn't. Anyway, but I'm like, same kind of thing. I'm telling him, like, I can't talk to anybody. I'm like, we'll see you a therapist. We'll do all these things. We've been in resilience classes. We've been doing this since like you're freaking small. This is why I teach you all this stuff, because I've gone through this. And he's like, I don't want to talk to a therapist. I'm like, you don't, no, stop. I'm like, oh. So I'm like trying to lead him to water. That sucks.
Yeah.
Because you're the one person trying to take care of all this mess and everything we're going through today, like the whole entire body, heart, mind, everything that they're going through that too. And you're like, I have to hold all this?
Yeah.
For me? Where's my backup? Dennis. Guys,
Yeah.
if you don't know me, Suvi and Marie, anybody, oh, here comes Mandy's here, Rachel's here. If you guys don't know me already, I am very much cut and dry. I am no sugarcoating thing, but at the same time, I'm very much, okay, guys, I love you and you're fantastic. And you are amazing. And this is how we're going to help. Mandy, I'm glad you made it. Rachel, I think you're there too, or you're coming in. This is taking a little longer than usual. I wasn't going to, I decided to do anyways, kind of putting back into our timeline. I apologize for that, guys, but we're going to keep going.
Barbara's asking for the password.
Oh, damn it. This should be in the thing. Thank you.
And Rachel's not feeling well. She has the flu, but she may still try to join.
Barbara. And you should be able to click the link in the Zoom. You should go click the link above. There. Okay, so you know what, guys? I'm going to keep going. Mandy, I apologize. I actually am going to quit the maps right now because we have so much stuff going on. There. Sorry, too much there. Okay, so I'm going to go back on track. If you haven't had a chance to already, I put in the actual event itself. No, not the event. I tried to put in the event. If you go to our Recharge Our Solo Parenting Batteries Facebook group, if you go to the file section, there should be, I see it, but you should be, Facebook is weird. There should be a PDF there for what we are going to go for our workbook. If you are a Phoenix member, it is in our Google Drive in our shared folder. I put a link here. So you'll see two links in the chat. One of them goes straight to the group. And the other one goes straight to our Google Drive if you're a Phoenix member. Try to download that. Has everybody had a chance to do that? Can you put your hands up so I know if you're here, if you have it or not? Cool. Thanks, Mandy. You're on the ball. Marie, I don't know if you have it or not. That's cool. We're going to go through it anyway. You can keep it in mind and do it later. The replay is going to be available for you guys for a week. And again, if you're part of the Phoenix members, you'll have this in parental thing. Lifetime access. All right, so let's go through. Oh, we'll open on my phone, dude. Okay, Jen, would you mind? Do you see the password on your side in the link, or should I put it? Okay, can you? Okay, thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. Also, Jen, if you see things in the comments, and oh, there she is. I found her. If you see things in the comments that I don't see as I'm going through, please do, if you can moderate them. I really appreciate it. All right, let's dive in, guys. If you haven't had a chance to do kind of get myself together here, blah, blah, blah. I am so glad you guys are here. I want to keep going. So how we're going to be doing this today is that we've gone through so much this week. We have so much. We've shown up in these big ways. We've shown up in these small little ways. And sometimes we've just survived the day. And maybe we haven't had a chance to take that time for ourselves. This is life. But a lot of you, in fact, I think almost all of you who are here have put in something for each challenge as we've gone through, regardless of whether it's in the day or afterwards. And I seriously applaud you for that. It is so hard to do this. You doing that and you guys showing up, it is so much. And even if you haven't had the intent to and you're planning to go back later, it is not too late. You are more than enough. And just keep going with that. We're going to be adding something new. So we are connecting the pieces. We're making this the reconnect. This session is about pulling everything together that we've touched. We talked about the body, we talked about the heart, the mind, your spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it. And you're making that space to hear what's stirring underneath. This is about your journey. This is about what you feel about you. Might be a little tricky at points because you don't know who that is yet. A lot of the times when we go through this, we don't recognize that face in the mirror. So we kind of go through the motions and we try to figure things out, and this is why we're here. And I want to remind you that there's no perfect way to do it. There is no deadline for reconnection. There is no shame to know that you're still in survival mode. There isn't any fix. There's no freaking timeline, guys. If you talk to me individually, you'll know that I say there are no stages of grief. They are all over the place, but more than that, they don't apply to us, guys. We go through our own phases of widowhood, as I call it, and our own mindset, and you'll find they kind of can go all over the place. As we're going through this, the important part is to know that we're learning to listen to these certain parts, and they're going to ask for our attentions in different times, in different ways. So feel like you're going one step forward and 2 steps back. I do want to remind you that it's not that way. We are listening to, if your heart says something and then you go back and have to explain the same damn thing to your mind, you're trying to understand on different levels. And this is going to be a different ways for you. And we'll get into how we can do that and using the workbook. So I want you to recognize for where you were at the very beginning of this journey, even this week, and where you are now. And then we'll go into at the very end where you're invited to keep that going and where to go next. Okay. I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to walk through what we did. So the body, I'm going to go through each one of you. I'm going to have this lesson, and then I'm going to ask you for a prompt for this session, because this is a toned down session of Arise Like a Phoenix. We are not going to go through everybody. I'm going to be asking for hands up. And this is also because I know that not everybody is ready to share. You're not used to each other yet. If you want to be brave, go for it. But I will be looking for hands. So for body, we're using movement as a way of survival and strength. We use the body first because it is the easiest place to start. We can literally physically find ourselves here. If you've ever done the 5 stages, the 5 things, not 5 things, the 5 things, it's a way to reconnect to yourself when you're quickly triggered. If you've been part of my Facebook group and you put your email in, you should have gotten that resource to you. If you have not got the resource to you, DM me, I'll make sure you do. The 5 things, what first start when you try to reintegrate with yourself is your body. And you say, what are the 5 things I can feel? It brings you back to that moment instantaneously. If you want really quick trigger, push right here. It says this will go to the parasympathetic nerve. It will trigger you to calm down. We have moved. We figured out that we can move imperfectly. We can move awkwardly. We can often with a toddler on top of us. Me doing yoga years ago. Sometimes we're trying to walk. We're trying to drag our teenager to come with us, or they're trailing behind, or the little one for me is like, oh my God, stop. Oh my God, we just stay calm. But we've moved. We have figured out what works for us. And by doing that, we are telling our nervous system, I'm still here. The thing I tell myself sometimes, if I feel like I'm going out of control, my first thing is, I'm rooting my tree. I am here. And that can be tough. So I want to go around and I want to ask yourself, what kind of movement to help you feel more present this week? And then if you don't answer that, the second prompt is what surprised you about how your body responded when you did this. I'm looking for hands. Go ahead, Jen.
I'm actually really surprised because I worked hard with walking and doing the recycling on Sunday, Monday. And then I went to bed and my foot was like swollen in pain and pain I couldn't sleep with. And now I have a bump on my foot that I can't explain. So I think it's really interesting that I walk all the time and I did it for this challenge and all of a sudden I've got a bump on my foot, which makes no sense. I don't know what that's about. I don't know, but I just found it interesting that it happened during the challenge and not at a different time.
I it might be your body saying, listen, stop working here. You're working too much on me, and I'm going to give you a reason why you can't. So listen to other things,
Maybe.
right? I mean, I'm just
Maybe.
spitting it,
Yeah.
just a thought experiment, but it
Yeah.
is. That's really interesting. Again, timing
Yeah.
wise, too. Does
Yeah.
it still hurt?
The bump is still very there, but it doesn't hurt anymore.
Okay,
Strange.
it is. I gotta keep an eye on it next week. I want to get an update on what's going on.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yep.
Does anybody
Strange
else
stuff.
want to put their hand up for the body? Marcel, I know you haven't. Oh, but you're putting your hand up. Maybe you did
Yeah.
do part of it.
Well, I dance with my daughter, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna post it on Facebook. I didn't even record myself. So I actually, okay, my age, right? I'm 38. Yes, I'm 38. So when I was growing up, Hanson was a big thing. And I loved Hanson. I love the Backstreet Boys and Hanson. But anyway, the song, and you might not know it, but it's a Mbop is famous, is the one that they became famous with. I always thought that the music was like very catchy, and yet the lyrics were a bit profound for that age. And so I for the first time, put it with my daughter and sang it away out, and she loved it. Like we had to dance to it 3 times in a row. So I was surprised. It was like, it was kind of like a spiritual and body kind of like connection, because it makes me happy. That song makes me happy. And she was super happy about it. Like, who are they? They're like Hanson. Oh, Mbop, Mbop. So I was I was surprised. So it made me recharge my batteries in a different way, I guess. Yes. And again, flashbacks from back in the day, right?
I love that. That is, oh wow, that's
And she usually doesn't like my music. So the fact that
like
she
how
wanted to listen to it 3 times in a row and dance to it with me, that meant a lot.
one of the things, I think, Mandy, I've told you this before. One of the things that I used to do with my kids, because I was just so tired. I mean, it's the end of the day. It's 7 o'clock. At this point, I had like a toddler and no, a toddler, I guess grade 1 at this point when I started doing this. We started doing dance parties because I'm like, you guys have to go to bed. We're gonna dance and we're gonna get all your energy out, and then you're gonna plop into bed. And this is the way it got them into, let's go to bed now. We'll be excited about this. And then I put them in the bed. Okay. And then I can go, oh. And sometimes because I don't want to move like that. I did. The other one we did, again, I'm talking too much. I forgot what we called it. I would go like length. The bed would be here and I would go this way and I would roll myself like a log and they would have to jump back and forth over me. So we were all exhausted by the end of it. And it was just a way, especially if we didn't get out. I think this actually started like around COVID because we had to do something. But yeah, I love it. I love it. You're trying different things, that you're getting your daughter involved too. Is actually a really cool thing, which I don't think we've actually brought up this week, is how to get your kids involved sometimes with these things. I love that idea. Does anybody else want to put their hand up for the body aspect? Andy. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try to ask you to unmute. Did anything come up?
Got it. I got it. Just what you were saying there about getting the little one involved. I did start doing the star jumps in the kitchen, and he found it hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Because you can see like straight through from the kitchen straight across the dining room into the living room where he normally is. So he was standing at the gate watching me. and he started jumping at the gate. And now every time I go in the kitchen, he says, "Mummy kangaroo."
Oh, there's your motivation right there.
Yeah. So mummy has to be a kangaroo when she goes in the kitchen now.
Awesome. Good. Good for your kid. Love it. Amazing. My 14-year-old trying to get me to get on a bike. I haven't biked in like 30 years and he loves his biking. So I'm like, oh man, do I have to learn how to bike now? It'll fall off. I keep like, anyway. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because I want to make sure that we get through, because we are going to be doing an exercise together if you can. So I want to keep going through and we'll go back to the workbook in a bit. The next thing we're going to be talking about was how we went into the mind. The heart. My apologies. The reason why we did the heart is because a lot of us here are very heart connected. It's something, I don't know whether it's a male female thing, but in general, the people who are attracted to these kind of sessions are very heart motivated. They're very heart centered, and it's easier for us sometimes to listen to the things that we know before we listen to the things that we are used to ignoring because it's not as important. They both get kind of used to this too. So the heart used to be listened to first anyway. I really like the analogy of using the heart and mind as two of your kids, and they are both yelling for your attention, and you have to pick and choose until eventually you get to calm down and talk to each other. Because anyway, so for heart, we are starting to think about how giving permission for us to feel and not to fix. We shifted from our body outwardly to inwardly, and we're trying to give our heart space to speak honestly. And maybe for the first time in a while, maybe sometimes we try to force it to feel some way, and that can be good or bad. I was at this point, I was talking with Suvi, and I were talking about this the other day, but there's these points where I didn't feel grief. I didn't feel so sad, and I would feel kind of bad about it. Or I did feel happiness and joy, and I feel bad about it. And then the idea that you can sit there and feel these things and like, okay, well, what am I feeling now? Am I feeling depressed? Am I feeling frustrated? Am I feeling angry? Like, what is going on? And having that chance to listen to it, and don't put any editing to it. Don't try to bypass it or put words out of his mouth or stop it. Just like let it come out in whatever form it took. My big thing, for me, because I'll just be completely honest here, my thing is that I was expecting my heart to be all over the place this week, because it usually is. I really do think this challenge has been helping a lot with that, but there's been a lot more security and safety, and I can do this. Like for me, that shift this time hasn't been guilt. It hasn't been, oh my God, I feel horrible. This is like, I have to feel all these feelings and these shame. But no, I know this actually feels really good. This is weird, but this is okay. Even though I still feel the grief and everything else. And that there is that combination of feeling everything, feeling happy and guilty and whole and everything. So that's what I felt. I would love to hear from you guys. My prompt for you is, what emotion showed up that you didn't expect? And if it did show up, what did it have to tell you? What does your heart have to tell you that you hadn't left it? As for some of us, we had to use that. We can't. One of the ideas of body doubling that I talk about in other things in my coaching, but sometimes it's easier for us to picture our heart as our husband speaking to us, or we're speaking to him as a mirror. So if that's what you felt too, that's cool. But I would love you to, again, too much talking, put up your hand, let me know what emotion showed up that you didn't expect and what to tell me. Subi, please.
Yeah, so for me, like, I think the first question was like, what
emotion showed up?
Avoiding or something, or what was showing up? And I couldn't really place it. I couldn't figure it out. So I looked through all the questions and I started actually at the, like backwards. I started with like talking to John. So
Yeah.
what would I tell him? So, you know, I told him like, this is so hard to do on my own. And like, I miss him and I just want him to be here so he can tell me it's okay and hold me. And I just like had so much emotion come out because I don't know, I just had this like emotional release, got really emotional with that. So then I was like, okay. And I was like, my heart needs, or no, then the next one was backwards to what to tell myself. So I was like, okay, be gentle, be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. And then what my heart needs to be held, understood, embraced. And then I was like, what emotion? I tried to like figure out what emotion that was. And I felt like it was like self-compassion that I was avoiding. Yeah, just I think it connects to like kind of everything. Like I've just been feeling really overwhelmed and kind of frozen and numb overall. Yeah.
Yeah. We go for these big things. I mean, especially if we're in survival mode, we tamp down on those emotions because we have to just keep going. If we just sometimes if we stop and think, we're afraid it's going to be an overwhelm and too much, and sometimes it is. So we can kind of bounce back and forth between. That's why I think that's why they call it waves. And I really, it's no one really tells you, hello, that it's grief is more than just grief. It's more than just mourning. It's everything, and it comes up in surprising ways. So of course you're going to numb out. That's okay.
Yeah. So that was just helpful, like to do it.
Yeah.
Figure out what that.
The self-compassion thing was awesome. I really did resonate with that one. Did anybody else, like I'm seeing some nods across here. Did anybody else feel the same kind of feeling of the self-compassion, the lowering the bar? Jen, you're smiling. Barbara, you've raised your hand. Please do share.
I'm trying to figure out all these controls. I think for me, a lot of it was around the things that I've been kind of hiding. And I tend to stuff things in until like my body just finally like lets it out itself. So like I've been hiding sadness, joy, my usual talkativeness, and loneliness. So it's like one of those times where I'll just like be walking and my eyes will just start watering and like tearing up. And I'm like, why now? Not now. But it led me to what does my heart need now? And I need companionship and happiness. So it's one of those things that I've always been the talkative one in any relationship, and I've become very silent and very few words. So it's interesting, especially with my recent relationships, you know, and I don't like being like that. I want to be my old self again.
Yeah.
So and if I can tell my heart something, I said it's okay to mourn. It's okay to talk and be yourself again, the crazy self, the artistic self. And don't worry what others think. Because at like 48, who cares what anyone says anymore? Hell, I've let my hair go gray. Who cares?
I love it. It looks so good.
So if I can tell Kelly what I would tell him is that I know he didn't want to go, but we miss him and we need him. And more importantly, the kids need him, even though they don't want to admit it. I mean, my kids are 15 and 17. So they're very grown up in a way, but yet not. So it's interesting to see how they go through it.
Yeah.
But hi, everybody.
It's really good to see you, Barbara. I'm so glad to see you back. Barbara was a part of our group about a year ago, I think we're talking about. And I'm just so glad I decided to jump in. And I got to say, like, you look so much more radiant right now than when we first started talking like that at the beginning of the week. And I think, I don't know, I'm hoping this challenge had something to do with it.
I hope so too.
Yeah, let's keep going. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Marie, just I would probably know you are welcome to speak even with your kid in the background, but not you don't need to because I know you were an introvert. I just wanted to give you the option. Cool. And Rachel, obviously you too. Thank you again, Rachel, for showing up. We love you. Okay. Next one was the mind. So the mind is interesting because we're heart centered and we listen to that and it's finally we're getting onto this level and saying, okay, I hear you. It's calmed down enough. Now we can go to the mind because it knows doesn't get all the attention all the time. It might be kind of a surprise. And sometimes it doesn't know how to react. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, what? I never thought about this before. I'm in the mind, what the hell? But another times it's just so loud. It's like, okay, I got to understand what's going on here. It can be so loud and it's trying to understand where you are right now. And this life is not the life you expected in your neural pathways. So it's trying to like, how does this work? If it's loud, it doesn't mean that they're clear, right? Sometimes it's just so much going on that we can't catch a thought because there's just so much. We spend so much time, we're trying to calm the overthinking, we're loosening, we're trying to figure out how to control it, but at the same time, we don't know, we can't control everything, and we're trying to figure out like how we're going to get it all together. Sometimes I know myself, sometimes still with all the things that have to do with the solo parenting on top of it and the responsibilities of that, and I have all these things. I will wake up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning because my mind's going, oh, wait, there's this. Oh, wait, there's this. Oh, wait, there's this, because we only have so much time in the day. So listening to that, trying to figure out what exactly it is that we have to hang on to, figuring out where we could be stuck in survival mode still, because it's trying to control what already happened, and then trying to gently prod it to go, okay, just because you believe and you've seen, your mind said, this is reality. This is like the world has ended. It's going to end again. You can go, wait, no, stop. We're still here. It's okay. Our body said we're here. Our heart's now calmed down enough so it doesn't feel like it's in panic mode. Now our mind has to be okay. Well, how can we make sure that you feel comfortable and safe in this reality? So I would love for you to go around, see what of this challenge for you prompted any kind of mental stories that have come up, and any challenge, any assumptions about what you should be doing and how, any kind of shifts in that way too. Anything, I know that this challenge hit a lot of people this week. So I'm going to stop and let you put your hand up about what affected you. Jen.
So I think it's really interesting that this challenge came up at the same time that my daughter challenged me to really tackle the clutter. And I mean, the garage is full of indecision. It's full of stuff that needs to be sorted and dealt with. And, but we started with 3 bins in the house and she sorted it all. And I've had to explain to her that it's very emotional for me to get rid of and throw away toys or sell them for $5 when we spent $5,000 on all this. I mean, we literally have $5,000 of Legos, if not more, in this house, and hundreds of dollars of Shopkins and a bunch of other toys. And trying to explain to her that 1, it hurts to throw away all this money. 2, it hurts to throw away their childhood. And 3, I'm afraid because every time I got rid of something, 2 weeks later, they wanted it again. So she finally said, well, just say, womp, womp, it's gone. And I'm like, okay. So she's given me permission to just go ahead and get rid of everything and just say, sorry, it's gone, which has helped a little bit.
Yeah.
with some of my fear of getting rid of stuff. But as I wrote in my thing, it's indecision is a decision, and I'm really tired of getting into a really, really hot car because it's not in the garage because there's a bunch of stuff that we don't want in the garage. So I've been trying to do all of this, amongst everything else this week.
Yeah.
But we listed 6 or 7 toys and 5 of them have sold. So great. I probably underpriced them because they went so fast, but it's awesome. They're gone. A bag of toys and a $5 bill. It's awesome. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is most of my triggers I can't really anticipate, but this mind connection that is I'm definitely a freeze in the flight, flight, and freeze, and I get paralyzed. I get paralyzed with indecision. I get paralyzed and just not do anything. And this has, I don't know, made me a little less stuck. So I don't know how long it lasts, but it's good. But so much has happened this week. My mom is also hallucinating, and I'm worried about her and
Oh my God.
of grief because she may not make it longer. I don't know. I don't know
Oh
what
my
she's
God.
doing. So this week has been a lot, like so
Yeah.
much has happened. So I'm still here.
You are still here. You
I'm
are
still
still here.
functioning. We're getting it done, getting the stuff out, and maintaining the regular day-to-day life of everything. So it's but yeah, I think that was a big thing of, reminding myself that indecision is a decision, and I see it so clearly in others, but ignore it so easily in myself.
Yeah. Well, that's why we're here too, that's why we kind of bounce ideas off and on, because we need to have one thing you said, which I want to put out there, is that you said that you were afraid that if you got rid of something that was your kids, that they were going to ask for it 2 weeks later, and your daughter challenged that assumption. That is the interesting part for me. Like everything else you said was valid, absolutely, but that assumption, like you assume, and you're taking almost like you're kind of giving up that responsibility to take care of it because, oh, my daughter wants to take care of it, so I'll keep it for her. It's almost like you're kind of putting it as placing it on there, and you're assuming that. But now she's like, no, challenge your assumption. Do like just you're almost like putting up a way out for not doing it.
Well, possibly, but I have done it many times, gotten rid of something, and the week later they actually want it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, well, I'm paralyzed
totally.
because every time I get rid of it, then you need it. And she's like, yeah, but you got rid of 12 things and I needed one. And I'm like, all right, well, she's like, so just get rid of it and tell us we need to suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup, it's gone. So I'm like, but it was, I have this fear of it happening again because it's happened so many times.
Yes.
Both either in myself, I've gotten rid of stuff and then, a week later I want it, or I get rid of something and a week later I need it. Always happens. But the reality is yes, I got rid of 200 things and I needed 2. So like, you can probably replace those 2 or live without those 2.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Sure.
And it sucks to go rebuy something that you had and that sort of thing. But I'm fortunate enough to usually be able to afford the stupid thing I got rid of. And
you get something better, like your brand new fridge, which you have to go and get.
Which the water tastes awful. I want my old fridge back just for the water fountain because, but yeah, and there's no clear decision on anything that's ever going to be perfect.
Yes.
And waiting for the perfect decision and not making a decision is also awful. So it's been a challenge my whole life, but it's funny that Bella came up with all of this at the same time. And I think for her, it's because she's depressed and the clutter depresses her more. So she's like, you got to get this out so I can be happy again, which is all as a mom I need. I'm like, well, if I can do this and make her happy, I can do it. So it's really putting my butt in gear, but I've also been really tired this week. So it's like, I can do some every day, but not too much. But some.
Well, I think that's important too. I think I'm not sure if you maybe I should put this in the video at the very beginning of all this. There was this the video I put out about persistence killing resilience. I think that's a very important point too, though, of you can't push your body or your mind or your whatever it is too much. And if it starts to hurt, it's telling you back off, right? Your foot's obviously doing it right now, right? We get these signs and we have to stop ignoring them. And which will actually, it's funny, we'll actually go into this when we go into the workbook. Does anybody else want to talk about that before we go into anything else? Stan, that was amazing. Thank you.
I can go.
Thank you.
So this one was a little bit difficult for me because I was being triggered right at the same time, thinking about triggers and all of that. So it was one of the things of I lost my husband due to kidney cancer. And my boyfriend at the moment, he potentially has prostate cancer. And he won't go into the portal to read the results. And it's driving me nuts. And based on everything that I've done in my life, like this is what I'm good at. I'm good at challenging doctors, and I'm like a patient advocate in a way. So it's one of the things where the patient doesn't want to do their part to think of questions before their May 6th doctor appointment where they can actually read or interject the questions at the right time and have a more productive conversation rather than just going with deaf ears like, okay, you have prostate cancer. So it's like one of the things where I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back. This is his thing to do. And yeah, that's basically what I've been dealing with. On the same day that you guys were asking us to go through what are our triggers.
For there's so many of these kind of moments throughout the week where it's been like the day where we have to work on a challenge. Sometimes if one of the people, if it's the day that we're going like through that thing, it just I can't explain it any more than that. It just the timing for a lot of us has been like for a lot of these things. One thing I did want to bring up for you, and I think this is amazing for you. You are at this point where you're able to go, this is not my husband. This is not the same reality. Like I am triggered because that happened. And my mind's going, this can't happen again. This can't happen again. But at the same time, you're not disassociating. You're able to go, but this is him and this is a different situation. And in this case, you even said yourself, this is prostate cancer. This is not, bam, you're dead. This is chances where this is not necessarily a worst case scenario. There are other ways around this. And I think you can do that.
But the way that he deals with things is so polar opposite than how I deal with things. It's made me completely reconsider, do I really want to be with this person long term? Because it's not what I'm used to. It's not, you're supposed to talk about your problems. You're supposed to help try to figure it out, you know? I can't, if you're asking me for help, if you don't want to admit to yourself what you're dealing with. So I don't know.
No, I totally get that.
Totally sucky situation to be like, I'm sorry, I can't see you anymore while you're dealing with it, but it's too much.
Boundaries are so hard for us. And I'm glad you're putting yours up, and I'm trying, because you're figuring out this is what works with me and what doesn't work with me. And you're like, I'm standing by this.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep going because I want to make sure we have some time to organize. And then the soul thing, this could be a very private thing. I do want to mention that right now. So when I say soul, I don't even necessarily, if you mean spirituality for you, that's cool. If you mean soul for you, that's cool. If I don't know how people have their own spirituality, or even if they have spirituality, there are people I've worked with who are atheists. right? It doesn't matter. What means right to you is that what's here, what's your spark here, what gets you, forget the labels, okay? And what works for you. Figure out that quiet place where your love still lives, where those memories of him will be there, where memory of you, like your spark is now being fed by all the stuff. And we don't even get a chance to grow. We don't get that space and silence and quiet to do all the work beforehand is hard. But once we actually get some steps in, that's when we have this chance to go, okay, where am I in there? Oh, here she is. Oh, hi, here. And it's not the part of you that gets things done. It's not the part of you that whispers. It's right. It's the part that whispers to you. It's the part that misses him. It's the part that misses you. It's okay to grieve you too, guys. But you're still here. You're that butterfly. You're that freaking roar. But even though you've been completely down into everything, that soul, that whatever, like molecular, cellular soul, whatever you want to put it, it's still there and it's creating something completely different. But you can still miss what you had. Still there. That's still part of you. When you, like, for instance, this is really weird, again, off script, but when you have your child inside you, you are actually exchanging molecules. And so they actually have a part of them in you and them, and a part of them in you. This is kind of weird, but this is what we have. There are theories scientifically. This is why we actually feel connected with them, because we kind of are. Same thing for him. Like, even though we have not physically been part of them, their soul is in us still, because we were this. We are changed. You are changed. And we don't get the connection by forcing it. And I think, I want to thank you for some of you who've actually mentioned that. And I think it's very important to put that into. We can't force it. We find it in the stillness. We can't try to think, I have to hear whatever it is out there, this is what I want to hear. But it's not. It's the in that quiet and seeing things at the corner of your eye of what you are and what is going, oh, I almost missed that. If it wasn't for that, if we hadn't done all that work behind. When we've cared for the body, we've let the heart speak, we've quieted the noise in our brain, that's when our soul gets to sing. So without telling me necessarily, you don't have to tell me what you did, but did you feel a moment of connection to yourself, to your soul, something unexpected, something that felt like a sign, something that, this is hard to, but if you haven't, that's cool. If you haven't, don't feel like you have to have it. It'll come. Mine didn't come for like years later. If you guys know me at all, I talk about the mulberry tree is my big thing. It took me 4 years to realize there's a freaking big sign behind me for me to realize that was something there. It's a different story altogether. Let me know if you want to hear it. I will not. It's a long story. And sometimes for us that spark, that soul, we have to, maybe it's fed to us by our kids, because we try to live life through them sometimes. And they are sparky, especially if they're younger. And if they're older, now if they still spark, but it's different, right? They have more energy trying to rail against the world, or sometimes they suck it in this way, but there is still energy out there. I guess the question is, before I go off track, what is something, I got kind of off track there. What is, if you felt a moment of connection this week, what was it? Whether it was unexpected or expected or familiar or one of those, oh, I didn't notice that before. For me, it was the bunnies. Probably seen those puts for me. Marcel, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was going to travel last week, and I couldn't do it for several reasons. But anyway, at the airport, and this was not the reason, by the way, I forgot one of the passports at home. And I've been living abroad for years now after his death, and this is the first time that I forget a passport. And he was in charge of the passports when we traveled. That was like his job. So to me, that was him being there. I was able to get the passport. A friend brought it to the airport and whatnot. But it was, I had a conversation with him, I had like a conversation with him. I was like, oh, you are here. And we would have this conversation on how is it, I did not prepare things the night before, the way I should have, but you know what? That was your job. So I was angry and happy at the same time in such a weird way. But I felt that he was there ultimately. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's so funny because one of those, that was, yeah, I would definitely say that would be an unexpected, hey, I'm here. Not the way you wanted or expected.
Exactly. And you know, especially why, right, Sarah? So it's just like, oh my God. Well, in my
Yeah,
defense,
that's
I
why I
have to create
wanna,
more passports because two of them are I had to renew my passport. So two of them were the old passports, and I did not put the old one, my old one, because I thought, you know, I'm taking my new one. But you know, when you leave the country, the old one had the stamp that says that I got into Egypt. So without that stamp, I cannot leave Egypt. So that's why I had to, yeah. So yeah, anyway, I got the passport. That wasn't the issue anyway. But yeah, it was quite emotional. Like it just added things to the way I was feeling already.
Yeah.
And so he made sure that I knew that he was there watching me.
oh, Val's here, sorry. Hi, Val, I don't know if you can hear me. Val. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Thank you. I wasn't expecting you to share that, but thank you. I think it's awesome. I know, I think it's important too, because like vulnerability, because like, oh my God, stuff's happened. This is crazy. And why, I don't know if you would tell that to anybody else and they would get the same kind of, oh, of course it was him kind of thing.
I know you guys would get it. That's why I'm sharing with you guys.
Yeah. Val, I know you're here. I know you're off camera and muted, but I just wanted to let you know we have done the maps. We are deep into the challenge. We've done through the, oh my God, we've done everything. We've done the body, we've done the heart, we've done the mind, we've done the soul. What I want to do now, guys, and I do want to go take that time. We have about half an hour. If we stick to the 2 hours, I can stay a little bit later if you guys want to, but I would like to see if we can actually stick to at least the half an hour to do things. And if you want to stay a little bit longer, if you need to for a Q&A, you can. But before we go any further, because I want to make sure that you guys know this is just a portion of what I do when I work with you one-on-one. It's also a portion of what we do if you are part of the Phoenix group. So there are, what we're doing right here is a workbook. I've shown you that one. So you have it. I'm going to show you, I'm going to share so you can actually see what I'm talking about, because I make it so much easier. So I can see what I'm talking about and make sure it's the right one. All right, so this is the, can you see this one? Yeah. Okay, so this is my Canva. You're actually seeing the application itself. I like making things pretty, guys. Like, have you seen, one of the reasons I'm a little bit late, I'm like, oh, wait, they're right. That color isn't the right one. It's just, it's my thing. I have to like, let go for it. This is what you have. We will go through it with you guys right now. So this is very much there. This is the Go With The Challenge, which is a small portion of what I do. Guys who are part of the Phoenix group, a couple of weeks ago, we did the reconnection. We actually dove more into the reconnection and how like the heart, body, mind, and reconnect. I told you, I was promising you I was working on a workbook for this. I am actually almost done. This is basically a more expanded version of what we are doing in this challenge. And it's not, I am not finished yet, obviously, but it goes into a lot more understanding of the splitting of the mind and how reconnecting. It's a lot more thing. This is for you guys, which I'm going to be putting in the new circle portal so we can go through. And it'll also have a replay of the connection or what we talked about. If you are part of my program, which is the one-on-one, which is a step above that, we go deeper into how this all connects with you. So we go into like much more deep into what can we do with what works with you best right now. Is it your heart? Is your mind? We listen to that. We go through things. We can reconnect it. And that's all part of the journey of figuring out who you are. Once we figure out that, calm that down, and you feel you can breathe again, and you can deal with the fog a bit better, and you can deal with the overwhelm, you can actually think forward. Once that is like, okay, we can do this, then we go to the next stage, which is figuring out who you are in this present moment. based off what you were before, what you used to do, what you're doing right now, you did before, and then we take that as a blueprint to who you are going next. How can we do this? And then the next stage is this is what we can do to tell the world, tell yourself, these are my new goals. This is how I'm going to be different. This is like outwardly, it could be things like, I have a brand new hair color. Like I went from blonde to red after my husband died, just because I needed to show people on the outside that I was different than the inside. This stuff I have worked with for myself. I've gone through it. I've been working with widows since 2008. It's weird, guys. So my husband died in 2014. My daughter was born in 2016. I started this work in 2018. This is stuff I've been working with for one-on-one and groups for a while. It is brilliant. It works. It is amazing. I'm not going to get that much into it, but I do want to let you know that after this challenge is done, I will be reaching out to you in the next week to kind of regroup, see how things went, and to see if we can get you a plan for yourself to go forward. I would also love you to reach out to me, so we can talk about it too, because, stuff. So what we're going to be doing now, if you have it in front of you, Val, I know you just joined us. I put this in the folder in our group. There are links. If you look in the comment section in Zoom, one of the links is to the pop-up group. If you go into the file section there, it will be there. However, because Facebook hides things, and I hate it because of that, you can also go to the link, which goes directly to our Google Drive, so you can get that. All right, so let's dive in, guys. So the reason why we're doing this, and I really thought you guys had this at the beginning of the session. I deeply apologize. I have no idea where that went. And it's very frustrating because I really worked hard on that. Anyway, so this is reflecting you. And it's interesting, Jen, that you talked about your bump on your foot, because the reason this all comes, I call it this reflect on you. I also call it the stone in your shoe. And I'm gonna kind of briefly go through it. I'm gonna read it out loud a little bit, but it's basically the idea that we put so much to the needs of our children that it is so reflexive for us to ignore things for ourselves. I always use body as the first thing, because it's the thing that really we can focus on next. It is tangible. It is there. Stone in your shoe came from the idea is that when, I guess 2 or 3, it must have been 3 years ago. When did I first do this? I first did the challenge 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Oh my God, time. It was winter. It was for months. I was having problems with my back. My hips were kind of like this. I was having problems with my shoulder. It was like everything was off kilter. I was in pain. I did not like this. It's getting worse and worse and worse until I finally figured out a month later that the boots I was wearing was one size too big for my feet. And I was didn't even notice this. I was like, I'm just going to go this way. I have to get the kids to work, to school. I have to come back again. I didn't even notice it because I was so focused on trying to do the things that I had to do that I didn't notice. This should have been obvious, of my shoes being too big, which affected how I was walking, which affected my gait, which affected I tuned my shoe, my pain was gone. But it took a little bit, but it was gone. This happens again and again, guys, and it's not like we can do this one time. It's done. You guys know me. Last summer, I had a bunion that was cut off. I was on my back, literally on the couch for about 2 weeks for sure. I couldn't move, and then 6 weeks after that. So I started walking. I had to get the kids to school again. Had to go there. I had to end up going to the hospital because my foot was oozing because I didn't realize it was rubbing, and I was just like, "It hurts. I'm going to keep going." And I went in, and there's a hole in my foot, guys, from this freaking infection. But I kept going. Now, thankfully, it's actually better now. But is this something we have to do all the time? I call it the stone in your shoe because sometimes there's little things, there's little tiny changes that you can make. Changing your freaking shoes, making sure there's no stones in there. As an example for that, I want you to take this cube to kind of step back from this. So what have you learned about yourself this week? It's supposed to be a pre-challenge. We're doing a post-challenge. What have you learned for this week that you can go, okay, I got to change this. This is obviously something that's been a stone in my shoe that's affecting me. I got to get rid of. So I want you to take a moment to reflect. What is something that's been bothering you, that's come up this week, that's made it obvious that you've been ignoring it? And this could be the body, this could be the mind, this could be the heart, the soul, spirit, social. If you don't want to even talk, there's a lot of time we don't even talk social if you're not used to it. Sorry, spiritual, we talk social. But what is something that's come up that said, okay, now you're listening. Let's do something about this. Don't even think about what are you going to do about it yet. Just what is it? I'm going to give you a couple, I'm going to say a minute. So it's 2:06 right now. And if you don't have time to do it right now, that's cool. You can come back to this later. I just want to make sure that we have a chance to do so.
This is not in the book you posted, right?
This should be in the book I posted. Is it not showing up for you? No. Okay, you know what, Marcel? Do you guys have it? Okay, good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I skipped that one
No problem.
page. Okay,
Barbara, do
sorry.
you have the workbook or you probably haven't had a chance to get to it yet, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm answering
Okay.
questions.
Barbara, are you okay? Okay. And then check out and Val. Oh, Rachel, hello. Marie's daughter is right there. Hello. That looks like a beautiful cup. Oh, it says believe on it. I just realized that. I love it. Okay. Again, I don't want to push you. If you need to finish up this later, do. If you need to kind of ignore me a little bit as we're going through, that's fine. But if you've identified that, now question is, why did you push it back on your priority list? Why is it that even though it's been bugging you, that you've been able to just, I'm not dealing with you right now? Why did you push it back? Is it because it's too hard? Is it because it's too easy? Sometimes we don't do the easy things because the harder things are what have to do with. Sometimes, I mean, it's funny when it comes down to lists, some of the things I used to be this mentality that you do the bigger task first, and then because you have to plug through it. But if you flip that and go, wait, if I do the smallest, easiest thing first, that actually gives you a dopamine burst. And you're like, oh, I can do this. Let's keep going. And then the third question is that if you figure out what this is, why you push it back, if you put it forward, if you push it up that priority ladder, how would it be a beneficial change to you? How would it change your life in a good way? And how, and by attrition, to your kids' lives? Because sometimes that's easier for us to deal with. We do things because it's better for them. And if you need to use that as your push, when you can, it's not 2:09 right now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look for showed up hands. Once you have finished, or you think you're finished what you want to do right now, can you put your hand up? And I see a lot of very hard thinking faces. Okay, Mandy's done. It's like, it's a hard one. People are still working away on it. All right, I'm going to give you until, it says 2:11 right now. So I'm going to give you till 2:12, just so we don't waste, I don't want to say waste, not wasted time. Just I don't want to push anybody to finish this if they don't feel they can. I also want to get you. That's it. Okay, it is now 2:12. Don't worry if you haven't got through. Oh, there's Barbara back here again. Don't worry if you haven't had a chance to do anything. But for those who have, or those who even haven't, they feel like you want to share some of it, I would love to invite you to do so, because I think it also helps people, relatable, push each other on.
Well, if nobody wants to say, I will. I would like to.
Sure.
I think that for me has been emotions that I've tried to avoid or kind of have in denial, I think. And that has affected my attention span and even my attention for my kid as well, because my head is wandering. So I don't know, I guess, I'm gonna have a discussion and deal with those emotions, because ultimately we know that not having discussions could be something that we regret afterwards. So I'd rather have a discussion and not have a regret that I did not do it, because you never know, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of my reflection. So thank you, Sarah.
Okay. Go ahead, Mandy.
So
You put yourself on mute again. Yeah, I'm gonna add. Oh, there you go.
I'm here. Yep. I can't figure out these buttons. Mine is more of an activity that I've been avoiding, which is completing my pregnancy journal. Obviously, Lorcan's 2 years old now, and my pregnancy journal stopped at 26 weeks because that's when Chris died. And I haven't finished filling it out, and I've dreaded doing it, just because of everything that it's going to bring up, that it's going to feel so raw again. And I actually picked it up this weekend, and I was going to start it, and I put it back and I didn't do it. And it is something that I feel I need to do. I need to work through those raw emotions that are still there. And I think doing the journal is going to, it's going to be like draining a wound almost. It's going to open the wound, but it will drain it. But I just have to push myself to do it. And it will benefit Lorcan in the long run, because obviously he's not old enough to understand anything now. But when he's older and he's asking about his dad and his dad's death, I can show him the journal, and he can see that up to 26 weeks, his dad was just so excited and that he already loved him so much.
We felt him kick before he left, which is amazing. I love that. Thank you, Mandy. That was very raw. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is the exploring the self. Now, the reason this is the next thing we're thinking, because now we figured out what's been bothering us. I want you to think about, this is all the different ideas. So I don't know whether it's something that is bothering you. It's been a physical thing or emotional thing. I kind of put this up bigger so I can actually see it, or spiritual, mental thing. All of it. This is whatever it is, I want to give you a chance to see, get ideas about what you can do to kind of push those boundaries, to figure out who you are. Okay, what actually, now that you know what needs more attention, this is how you do it. So for physical, these are just ideas. Is those are you root down your bodies and you breathe in, you can move, you can sense things. What am I feeling? Am I touching? What am I smelling? Smelling's a huge thing. Having a shower, water is fantastic for me. That's my thing. It wakes me up. It gets me part of my body. So a lot of the time, even if I'm here, I'll have like a hot coffee or cold water because it just, my body needs it. I'm a water baby. I always have been. And someone mentioned to me recently, I should go back to swimming, which I keep saying I'm going to do, and I have not done. It's been 2 years. I have to do this. That's my challenge. Emotional, like for heart, it could be you attune to your emotions. It could be the way you're feeling. You could be expressing. You can connect. Like, oh, but the idea is there is that you can meditate. I know meditation is weird, guys. Meditation is not sit there and get rid of all feelings. It's the here is my feeling. I recognize that feeling. I'm going to let it go. You can do this for a mental as well, but it's meditation is more of a, let's make sure myself I'm okay in this quiet space. You can journal, you can talk into your, like, you can talk out loud. Marie, I was just talking to you about that. It's like emotionally vomit into the ether if you have to. It could be playing with your kids, emotional. I mean, that's sparky right there. If you actually get down on their level, forget your adult self and just play with them. That's amazing. That's a connection right there. If you have a shrine or an altar or any kind of memory of him, add to that, look at that, look through old photos. I mean, these are could be triggering things, but this is something maybe you'll need. Mentally, things like you got to broaden your intellect. You got to start thinking. You start using your brain again in the ways you didn't do before. Expand it a little bit. If your brain can't focus on something that's routine, because it's going, but this is not how it's supposed to work. This is not how it's supposed to work. We're supposed to do it this way. He was supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. Here's something new. This is something we have not done before. I'm going to learn Cantonese. This is where, like, and your brain's going to go, okay, this is now what my reality. This is what I can do. Try different things. Connect with your community. That uses different mentality things, and that could be difficult for you too, depending on where you are. Sometimes we self-isolate, which is why the social part is part of it. But mentally, it starts opening your horizons. Knitting or crafts, my big thing. Like the way I concentrate, because I can't pick things up auditorily. That's why I have to have workbooks and stuff, because I have to keep myself busy, my knitting, so my mind can concentrate on what they're saying. This is something that my mind needs to do. So mentally, it's also helped me to figure out if I have to count stitches. And nothing else matters. I have to count. I'm focusing on this. Practice language, enrich your family's nutrition. Like, there are all these different ideas you can do. And then for spiritual or soul, reflect. Think about your experiences, being in that moment. Read your spiritual books, your Bibles, your I don't know, whatever it is. Tarot spreads. If you're not into that, like look at the outside, connect with the sun, connect with and nature. Just be by yourself. Talk to them. Burn your regrets. I think somebody else brought this up recently. And the things with don't have any. If you had any kind of regrets that you are feeling like you're having bottlenecks because you can't get past this point, write it down on a freaking piece of paper and put it there and burn it. It is that physical part of it. It just really does something there. So the next sheet you'll have in this, as we've gone through and as everybody has been talking about or sharing over the week about what does work for them, I want you to pick at least one of these for physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And I want you to think of things that you can do to enhance that. And the trick here is I don't want you to use the things that you usually do. If you're always a heart person, I don't want you to look at the heart. The heart has its attention. Switch your thinking, give something else its attention, whatever that is. Here's a challenge. You're not allowed to throw out the lot you this week. So it is now 2:20. I think I'm going to do 2 minutes for this one. But once again, if you've finished early, put up your hand so I know. And at 2:22, we're going to stop. I'm gonna make it 2:23 because I just put over to 2:21. I don't think that was nearly a whole minute. Marie, your daughter, your 3-year-old is amazing.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I'm like, this is our life. I love this. This is fantastic. One of the things that really pissed me off when I was a solo parent and my boss at the point, I had to like leave the house. I would get like drop the kids off at like we'd get up at 5:30, drop them off by 7:30, rush to work, go to work, rush home, pick up the kids before the end of daycare because they charge you by the minute if you're late. Get home, feed the kids, put them in bed, collapse. Sometimes I was like 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late. And then my boss was like, "Oh, you can't make it early, then stay later." I was like, "I can't do that." It's like, "Well, then switch it around. I'm earlier." I'm like, "Well, I can't do that either." And she's like, and she was trying to go on the fact that she does it and she has to do and blah blah blah. And she thought, I'm like, "Yeah, but you have a husband. You have back up. I am doing my freaking best." And she was like, "This is a policy and blah, blah, blah. And we can't make exceptions for you." And now, like at the end of COVID and everything's thankfully changed a little bit for that. But I was just frustrating. I'm like, dude, do you understand? Honestly, do you get it? No. I was really, anyway, my own little bitch such. It is 2:24. I'm sorry, I kind of overworked it. Does anybody want to share something that they're planning to do going forward to kind of exercise a new muscle? Put yourself off mute at any point. If not, that's cool too. Rachel, are you even there? Yeah. Okay. Hello, little one. I love her. Okay. All right. Gonna keep going. No one's to share. That is cool. We can go back to that later. All right. So once you figured out this, I do want to make sure. All right. So make a plan. So this is tough, guys. You have to make a plan. You have to be accountable to yourself. We don't do this. We cannot. We usually, again, it's easier for us to take care of everything else to make sure they're okay, they are fed, they have washed. I don't even know if I have a shower today yet, guys. I don't think I have. But I'm making sure my kid does, because good Lord, she's disgusting. But so think about the things. So now you figured this out. Now that you figured out what that is and you've had ideas of what you could do in the past, I want you to actually commit to the 2 or 3 changes you can do to your body, your mind, your soul, or whatever that is. I want you to put that down, what it is. And I don't want you to worry about whether it's a big thing or it's a small thing. It doesn't have to be, it's how we decide what that is. It's your priority list, but now we've kind of rejigged that a little bit. Write down 2 to 3 things that you're going to do. A reminder, I'm going to be coming back to you next week to see how's the recap all. So you have to get it done at least by then. We'll figure it out timing when that happens. The next thing that once you figure out what 2 or 3 small or big things you can do, even small things, man, make it easy. Get that dopamine burst. What can you do to make these changes happen? I don't want you to give yourself barriers in. That's the next thing. What can you do to make these happen? And realistically, like, how can you fit this in? When I first started doing the creativity challenge for myself, which is another challenge I do, I want to do it again this year. It's called the artist way. I forget who did it. It's this big tome about like how to be creative. It's called the artist way. One of the things she was saying is like, just every day, sit down there first thing in the morning and just do like 3 pages of self-association writing. Just go, just anything. Even if it's like, I can't write, just go for 3 pages. And I was like, I do not have time to do 3 freaking pages. I did what I could, when I could, if I could. But then after a certain while, as long as I put some kind of intent to think I was doing it, this is what I could do. I realistically cannot do 3 pages, but I can do half a page. That's my thing. Once you figured out what that is and what the change of what you can do, the next thing is, what are the boundaries? What are the things that are going to come up? My obstacles that could prevent me from doing this. There are things that we have put up. Sometimes we put barriers up for ourselves, because they're real. And sometimes we like say, okay, well, I don't have enough time. I'm going to put that right there. You have the time. Time and motivation are not the same thing. Jen, we've done this program. We've done that lesson at least twice now. And it's so freaking true. And we still have to remind ourselves that. Saying to ourselves, we don't have time. I'm sorry, guys, you can. You got to figure out for yourself what that is. What I did, and I tried to figure this out. I had to do this all on my own, guys. I had an infant and a kindergartner, and I was moving house, and I had all this thing. I was in my grief. I took an hour a week. You can do that however you want. It's not that much. It really isn't. Yeah, you have to cut back on other things. That's okay. It's you. You are important. So whatever that barrier that is, what is that? And then obviously the next thing is, what can you do to negate this? Now that you know there's a risk, now that you know this could happen, how can we mitigate this? Freaking project manager background. We know, my background is content, educational publishing. I could have all these different things up there, but you're not going to do it. I'm going to project management, let's say a construction building. We're going to take down this wall and put a brand new wall up there. And it's going to be fantastic. Oh, look at that. There's old plumbing in there. We got to fix that. Oh, look at that. If you can look ahead and go, okay, these are problems that could happen. They are realistic problems. Let's think ahead. Let's stop us from bottlenecking ourselves and actually try to think of ways we can negate that. We're not going to be able to do all the what ifs. I don't want you to think about all the what ifs. You'll go down a rabbit hole. Think about 1 or 2. If you have other things that come up, you know now that you can figure them out in the moment. Good God, guys, you've been doing so much already. You can forget what we say, guys. We've gone through the worst thing already. You can handle anything. I believe in you. All right. So I'm going to end here because it's now 2:30. If you guys want to stay a little bit longer for Q&A, I do want to give you a chance to do that, to stay with me if you want. I can stay until 3 o'clock if need be. But I want you to start making a list as well. This is before I forget. After we do anything else, I want you to make the list. Once we are so good at going, I didn't do this, I did not do this checklist. I want you to start at the end of the day. We don't do it. We have to pat ourselves in the back. What did I do? What can I do to make sure that I have done all the things? And I sometimes forget all the things we do. But if we can take a second at the end of the day and go, I have done this and this and this, even with one thing, and then the next day we can look at that and go, look at that. I did that. I can do that again. Wait a second. And it gets easier. You are making new neural pathways in your brain, in your mind, in your spirituality, all of this. And you'll have to do it again and again. And this is how you figure out who you are. This is how the whole process starts. You are a priority, guys. So the next thing is, obviously work with me. If you're ready for it, if you're not ready for it, if you're not sure, I want you to book a call with me. I want to get on with you. We're going to go over what this week was like for you. If we've already had a call, I want to regroup to see what your thoughts are and how we can make this work for you and what resources I have available to you. And this is no pressure. This is not me saying you have to do all the things. I listen to you. And the reason why my program works is because I have different ways to fit with you in your lifestyle depending on when you are. But my background is educational content. My background is to show I can get you the learning module on your terms and your grief journey from somebody who's been there, who's going through it, who's figured things that I learn from you all the time, and I keep adding them to my program. So we'll figure it out. If you've gotten on a call with me, we'll figure out. If you haven't seen already, there is something called the phases of widowhood, where we actually go through and say, forget the stages of grief. They don't apply to us. The phases of widowhood, these are the mindsets you will go through as you go through your journey. We will get on that call. We'll figure out where that is. If you're already part of me, we'll do that anyway. We'll figure that, because it's been some changes. Jen, Ursel, anybody who's there, Val. We still have to get together, Val. We're going to figure out what's bothering you, what's actually came up for you over this week, and how you can work on that. And then we're also going to see if any of my coaching programs work for you. This is you. Okay. I have ditched all those like hard selling things. But you listen to you, listen to your instinct. I'm just here to help you guide you and kick your butt, but also be here. I'm your best friend, guys. I love you. Okay, so you have beautiful work. I want you to take this. I want you to take what this says. I want you to keep going. I want you to think about what you could do for yourself. I want you to think about how you can overcome any of your boundaries. I don't want you to overstretch anything either. The difference between feeling uncomfortable and being in pain. And if you need somebody to help you understand where that is and how to help you refocus, because that's hard to do on our own sometimes, I'm here. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. What I am going to be doing before we go into a Q&A section, after this, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I do want everybody to be part of this now. At the end of each one of our group meetings, I like to go around and kind of regroup to say, okay, how are you feeling now? And or what is one thing that you got out of this that you're going to keep using for the next how many days afterwards? And you know what? I am going to go this way on my screen. So I see Ursel. I'm in the wrong room. I see Ursel, Jennifer, Mandy, Suvi, Rachel, Val, and Marie. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. All right, guys. Ursel, go on. Also, when I was late for you too, so you probably want to go off and go to sleep.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little tired. Well, I like the workbook. I think it made me kind of like sit down with the things that I have to reflect. So definitely just came in handy, like right timing, perfect timing. So thank you. It looks really nice as well.
Yeah, we'll book a call. We got lots of things to talk about.
So thank you. I'm gonna go, guys, because I'm a bit tired. Good night, everybody.
Bye, sweetheart.
It's great meeting you, Suvi, and Mary. And hi, Rachel. I just saw you. I couldn't see you because of the sharing screen thing. Hey, Rachel. Bye, Rachel. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Jen, I think I see you next on my screen. I hope that doesn't. It's the same order, right?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Okay, Jen, you're next.
Well, I think I like the fact that I've been able to find some accountability of the things that have been dragging on for a really long time. I mean, since you've known me, I've been talking about my clutter and the fact that I'm associating it with Bella's depression. And that's the kick in the pants I needed.
That's big.
I mean, it's not something I didn't want to do. It's something I now need to do. Like in my mind, it's in the garage. We don't see it. It doesn't matter, but it apparently really matters. And, so I'm glad to have done all this at the same time. And I really hope I can keep the motivation going to get to my goal.
Okay, you and I definitely, everybody can talk, but you and I have to talk. We haven't had a chance to talk about that yet. Okay. This is the second part we're talking about. Okay. I love you. You're awesome. And so guys, shout out to Jen. She has been helping me in the background for a lot of the DMs because I'm super shy and she's much better at that than I am. And is helping things kind of tick along in the background. I really am very, very appreciative of that, Jen. You're amazing. And I know
Happy
you
to help.
love us. Mandy, you're next. How about you?
I think this week has really raised my self-awareness a lot. Particularly with heart, that's the one that's resonated with me a lot because that's the one I tend to ignore a lot. I'm very much in my own head and I'm quite spiritual. So heart was the big one for me, I think. And I'm going forward, going to try and keep that self-awareness going with heart.
I love it. Thank you. Suvi, you weren't, and Murray's kind of like jumped ahead in line, but I'm going to keep her. I think my original, I think this is still original. Suvi, are you okay with going next? Bye, Mandy.
Oh, okay. So what was the question? Like,
What after all this? I mean, we're here together. It's been a whole bunch of weeks. Well, a bunch of weeks. It feels like a whole bunch of weeks. What have you gotten specifically out of today from being here?
I think I realized there's like a lot that I can work on. Like I feel like and I feel like I'm kind of at that point where I'm ready to maybe start moving forward and giving myself some goals and accountability and like, yeah, I just feel like there's like a ball rolling.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like nothing, I can't really think of anything specific. There's just so much that's come up.
No, I didn't like it.
Like today even, yeah, like I don't know what to pick. Like, yeah, I didn't get a chance to do all the workbook stuff.
That's fine. And that's why I'm like, I feel that that's why I'm like, I'm so sorry. You must have this ahead of time.
No.
Take the time. We'll regroup over the weekend if you have time. I know that's usually our busiest time because us kids, like, do you think I have time over the weekend? Seriously? Let's get in touch next week and we can go through what you've been able to. And even if we do it in the meeting together, that's something else we can do too. Okay.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been kind of like a good recharge for sure.
I love that you're here and you've been like amazing at like engaging. Thank you.
Thank you.
Murray, I am going to put you on the spot next. You can even keep your video off. I want to hear from you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel motivated. Like the whole challenge is today, just like I said, I struggle with my mind and becoming overwhelmed these days. And just really thinking about how that does affect everything. It affects how the household goes, it affects how my kids themselves, and just, yeah, I think I just feel a little more empowered to take that under control.
Ooh, I like that empowerment. I like that word. I am so pleased about that. Oh my God, guys, my heart is like 3 times bigger freaking right now for all of this. I'm not a Grinch. Anyway, Rachel, you're next, my dear. So thank you for making it.
Hi, sorry, I've been really ill this week, which is why I've been off camera because I've been coughing for most of it. But I think, ironically, I've done bits and pieces of stuff throughout the week with the challenges, but I think I need to take a bit more regular care of myself so that I don't have these crashes where I'm like knocked out for a week. Because I think if I did a bit more of that and I didn't ignore myself as much as I do, then perhaps I wouldn't have these things where I'm like, bam, and it's all, I mean, like the guys that know me well, like really, really ill, and my mum's still like, "Oh, you're not coming to see me? I'll go off my head if you don't come and see me." I'm like, "Hello, I'm sorry to inconvenience you, but I'm not well." Yeah, I don't normally sound like this. I'm just sounding a bit gruff.
I inconvenienced you by being unwell.
I know. It's like
Oh,
you
sorry.
get to the point where it's just like, really? Okay. But yeah, I think we had a bit of a, I forgot to put the photo in group, but I've had the breakthrough of, you know, one area of clear clutter. Jen and I, we're very similar. We have clutter issues, we have mum issues. Never has there been a more kindred spirits from across the pond. Yeah, so my hallway is actually clear for the first time in 5 years. So that's my big victory of the week. I didn't do it by myself. My friend came over to help, but I've even found, like, if the kids are putting their shoes away, like, so I've got two kids and they're 11 and 13. They're not, if the shoes aren't where they should be this week, I've been like, put your shoes away. That hallway's clear. It's staying clear. So I'm hoping that's going to ripple then throughout the rest of my clutter. But yeah, I think if I didn't ignore myself as much as I do, because like the guys, no, I like to please others. I like to do for others, because it sort of reflects away from yourself and what you're feeling and what you're going through. Sometimes I think I just need to sit with it and feel it, because if you don't feel it, it just sort of snowballs and then it whacks over.
It shows up in other ways, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, you're right about the whole entire body. It's like that's why
Yeah.
body is usually the first thing, because you ignore everything else. All your stuff, your body's like, hello.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm yeah, just it really just sounds like for so many different reasons. The timing this week has been insane for so many
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
You have to telling your friends that come over that you're going home now, guys. I have other things to do. Boundaries, I think, is again hard for a lot of us, especially if you're not, yay for being social, but don't overextend yourself either, right? But the fact that have people over to your house now because you have like things cleared, yay because of that. Thank you, Val. Are you there? I wasn't even. Are you back in the? And you're like, are you out of the country or are you back home? Ish.
Hello. I am back. Yes, I got back on Wednesday. So I've just been flat out doing packing and stuff. It's just I think the thing this week for me is I think doing everything on your own. You know, I'm going to get all the furniture and I'm going everywhere. And I'm thinking, I'm doing it all on my own. Like I would love it to have someone there to like help you to choose the colors, and I've got the boys with me, obviously, but it would be nice to have somebody else there to kind of help me out. So, and it's letting go of stuff. I'm kind of procrastinating at the minute. I've got a lot of stuff to move, and I'm waiting for my brother to put flooring down, so that's kind of stalling things a little bit. But I don't know. It's letting go of stuff. Like I've got to go now to the room where my husband's clothes and all that. I've been there for years, so it's kind of going through all of that. It's a whole kind of emotional kind of thing. There's a lot of stuff kind of going on. I don't know where I'm at emotionally, physically, or anything. I know I'm very tired, but I suppose that for me this week has just hit me more, because everyone's like, "Oh, have you not moved stuff yet?" I've got to look for furniture. It's not just going to appear in the house. I've got to look for it and pay for it, and then get it sent. And I've got nobody else to help me to go to the house. So I mean, I'm going to have to ask for time off to go to the house, to open it, to let people in, to deliver stuff. So I think that's what hit me this week is I said, I suppose soloing it and when you're moving house is really hard.
Yeah.
And the family are just like, they keep messaging me saying, "Oh, so when are you moving and when's the date?" And it's like, but they're not offering to help. And I'm kind of like one of those very independent people. I'm just like, I'm quite determined. I'm just thinking, I've asked so many times for help and they've refused me. So I'm kind of being really, 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 what would you say? I don't ask them for help because I know that I haven't got it before. And I'm just thinking, I'd just do it my own. I will do it, my own. I'll get through it. But it's a lot. So this week I suppose a bit emotional this week,
Yeah,
but I'll be fine. It'll all come out at the end.
it will. It's don't they when you move in, it's gonna be chaotic already. I mean, it always is when you move. I hate moving house. I've moved so many times in my life, guys. But moving is chaotic. Moving to a new space, it's refreshing and amazing, and you have a fresh slate, and you get to start. You have new beds, fantastic. But it is discombobulating. So I also know your limits. Like, do you need that? You don't need to have every single piece of furniture there right now.
No,
Right?
and
You can
it
see on
definitely
the floor on for that table.
it definitely won't. No, there's not even beds in the house yet. That's what I mean. Because my
Right.
neighbor said to me today, she goes, "Oh, so have you moved? Have you had a night in the house yet?" And I was like, "I've no beds in the house yet. There's not even beds for the kids in the house yet. So we're sleeping on the floor." So
It's fine. You'll
there's
figure
nothing.
things out.
There's nothing in it as yet, and it's supposed to be out by next Wednesday. And I've already told the landlord I was going out this week,
Mm.
and I'm gonna have to message him now saying I can't go out this week because when I'm working and stuff, and the kids are off school.
Mhm.
I'm finding it really difficult to kind of manage time because today I spent all day with me and my sons were out furniture shopping, and then I had to go shopping with them because it's their holidays as well. So I ended up going shopping with them, which was nice. But I feel very pulled because I want to do housework. I want to look after them, and I just don't have anyone to kind of just take them away and go, "Do you know, we'll take you away for a few hours and do that," and then I'd be able to focus and do stuff. So I just feel like I'm kind of pulled all angles, and I'm back at work now on Monday too. So it's kind of like, great. I don't know when I'm going to get time to do it.
Well, and then if actually, I mean, this is something I think is very important too. It's just when we feel so overwhelmed with this is the time where we have to take a moment to ourselves, because otherwise we will burn out. And we don't want that. I mean, again, even if it's just a simple thing, if it's your boundaries, like whatever that is for you, like I want to see what you decided in the workbook. And I want, and I don't want you to say, I have stuff to do. I have to be out this week. I know it's very, very important. That's going to happen, but like literally take 10 minutes to write something. Okay. And I want you to do this. And I want you to look back at it afterwards. Okay. 10 minutes.
Yep. I will do. Don't worry.
Okay. I'm making you accountable. I love you. You're doing so well. And I'm envious of your suntan, by the way.
Yeah. It's, like holiday was nice, but then, my son was sick on holidays as well. So
Oh, good Lord.
it happens every single holidays we go on. There's always something that happens, and he wasn't very well, and it wasn't what would you say, I had a lovely holiday, but it wasn't the holiday that we kind of expected because he couldn't get the full enjoyment out of it. But we still had a nice time. We still got away, and I was actually worried he wouldn't even get back. I actually rang the medical insurance company to say, if anything happens, I thought I was going to be in hospital because he was really, really not very good.
Oh my God.
But he's all right. He's turned a corner and he's all right again now. But
Okay.
it's just one of those things. But I'm all right. I will be okay. I think, as you say, I'm going to take some time out tomorrow night for myself, just to get away from everything for 10 minutes, even just a walk somewhere, just get away from it all. So I will do that. And I will do my journal this week too.
Good. I'm glad. We'll check in next week. All right, guys. I'm gonna pull it there. Guys, thank you so much. I'll stay on here for the next 10 minutes until 3:00 because I promised I'd do that. Say it if you want to. If you have to leave, feel free to go to do whatever you want to do. You guys were amazing. Next steps, I will follow up with you, each one of you, as I said, to see how you're going next week, see how far you've gotten. Kick your butt if I need you, even if it's one small thing. See what we can do to help you go to the next steps, whatever that is for you. If you're part of the Rise Like a Phoenix group, I am putting things in circle to make sure that we have everything there. It's we can actually see it. It's not hidden like it is in Facebook. So that's gonna be an adjustment. I think, is there anything else? I'm trying to think off my top of my head. I have to go back to the poll to reacquaint myself with what we did, but I definitely do want to say that we're going to be doing the how to ask for help when you feel like you've been let down by everybody, and also how to ask for help when you need everything. So we're going to be talking about that in Rise Like a Phoenix in the next little bit, which is it's going to be piggybacking on what I want to do for the rest of the world, which is this is how you can help us. We can't ask for it, but this is what we need. And I think that's something that I really want to do to bridge that communication gap, which we don't have. I think that's it. I don't want to go on for too long. Thank you guys. Amazing for being here. Whew. I love you guys. All right, so see you if you want. I'm here for the next 9 minutes. Bye, Val.
I just want to say I wish we all lived in the same city so we could all just be a tribe and help each other, because I think we could all make our lives a lot easier picking up some of the slack for each other if we were close enough. And
Yeah. Well, eventually the goal is to have kind of splintered groups. I'm actually just talking to, I mean, we can all talk like business stuff later, but yes, we need, virtual is good, but we need human contact too, for sure.
I mean, this is great for all the mind and spiritual stuff, but like I have some physical stuff I need some help with, and logistics and stuff that it would be really awesome, but I don't have this kind of a tribe here where I can ask for help. Like I have a few people, but I don't feel like I can ask too much. And I really wish we were all in the same place.
Yeah. I would totally take your kids or help you with your garage or whatever.
Right? And
That was
most of it,
your
I really just need someone with me. I don't necessarily need help making all the decisions. I just need like, oh, well, some of it I physically need, like, can we both pick up this box and move it? But just sort of keeping me company, parallel play type thing, like, let's just do this together. Or, you know, so it's and the one person who's willing to do it makes me so anxious. Like she just goes off on these topics and tells me how I have to tough love my kids. And I'm like, I don't believe in that the way you do. And it backfired for you. And I, you know, you to me are a cautionary tale. So anyway, it just makes me more anxious. And I was sometimes feel like I'd be better off if she didn't come over and help me. But, I guess, you know, it's the trade-off. Like, do you do it all yourself and just, you know, take forever to do it? Or do you let someone make you anxious, but you get the whole thing done in a day? I don't know. Or do I find someone else?
We are so alike, Jen. Like the day my friend came over to help me with the haul, I worked so much better with somebody just there doing, just not even, you know, I don't know, it just seems to make me do it better, do it faster, do it, I don't know. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think we should find an empty town and we should all just move there and then we
I
feel
love it.
supported.
I love it. Oh, man.
The idea, like I was pregnant with Alex and it was just me and me and my son and my soon-to-be daughter. And I'm like, I just freaking want to we need a village. We need to make a commune of people who are going to live together. I'm like, I was actually very seriously considering turning Amish so I can have a little village of people. Not that I think I would be able to, I don't think I'd be able to survive in that kind of thing. I think I'm not, yes. But it was the idea of having like, let's all move together and we understand each other and we have our backs and we need that. We so need that.
A few sister wives would do really well. We don't even need the husband, just the sister wives.
It's okay. They're already taking care of that. I don't have one anymore anyway.
Great.
Sorry. For you guys, Subi and Marie, if you don't know me, I have like, well, obviously we all have a little bit of a streak of a dark humor because, you know, life.
Yeah, it's been nice to connect with I was saying to Sarah yesterday just about like connecting with other the younger widows. Like I know some widows, like where I live, but like everyone's older, right? And in a totally different life stage. So it's nice to connect with others that are, you know, struggling with the solo parenting and trying to juggle everything. And yeah, it would be nice if, there was someone close by. I feel like I'm the only one my age in my city. Like, I don't know anyone else like that's my age and widowed and parenting. I mean, there's got to be, I know there's some people I've heard of, but I just haven't connected or, you know. Yeah, like you were saying, Sarah, like we're like 2% of the widowed population. Like
We
the,
are 2% of the widowed community.
like,
Like,
parenting
well,
with-
like, I don't know if that's North America. I have to find that exact
yeah,
quote.
I was surprised. I was like, wow, yeah, but
Yeah. Doesn't mean we're not needed. We're here. And I think that's interesting too, because the reason why I started doing this work, and I have to tell you that this yesterday, and I keep saying the same damn thing, I'm sorry, but all of a sudden, 4 years in, there's somebody else who was exactly the same situation that I was, and it blew my mind, and I had to be there for her. And then all of a sudden, there's all those other young widows, and then there's more of them. And I find that the more we talk about it, all of a sudden, they kind of come out, and they're like, wait, what? And that you wouldn't
they're all looking for each other, I think, too.
right?
Like,
And we're just so, it feels like we're the only one. So of course we're the only one. And then when all of a sudden, I don't know what's going on with your situation, but I will bet you that there was somebody closer to you than you think,
yeah.
your era, who's going through the same thing.
Mhm.
That's not like we already don't want to be that widow. Like I always found like I felt like there was this big sign where I'm the widow, and I don't want to deal with that. So they're feeling the same way too. They're not going to be like, look at me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad you're here though too. That's exactly why we're here.
Like I always say, there's so much to be said for not having to look at your words before you say them, and for want of coming across wrong, or people. It's like I said, it's about 2 years after Rob died, and we were having a conversation that wasn't anything to do with me. And I turned around in my humour and said, and they were all sort of, oh, and I turned around and went, well, it's not like anyone died. And everybody literally went silent, looked at me and thought, shit, is she serious? Is she joking? Is she... Because people walk on eggshells and they don't know how to say things, what to say. There's don't talk about the thing or the person because you might upset them. Well, no, life is upset, full stop. You're not gonna. It's not people talking about your person that's gonna make you upset. The situation and the circumstances making you upset, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you've got some people behind you who you can talk really with, and they're not going to judge you, and they're not going to, if you want to cry, you cry. That's all part of it. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And it's been the best move I ever did was to join this group. It's just been so amazingly helpful. And you guys have seen me at my lowest. You've seen me crying. You've seen me, it's, and I'm still here.
We love you so much. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Amazing.
And it is so hard to know when it's okay to do the hard thing. Like last night I went to the farmer's market, and the people who own a market and they're always at the farmer's market, their son just died a couple months ago. And my kids did an activity with him. So we've known him for a couple years, and he went to my son's school. So there were all these announcements. And I just walked up to the booth and I said, "Can I give you a hug?" And she said, okay. And I went and I just gave her a big long hug, and she held on tight. And I just said, I'm so sorry. And because there are no words, and I'm not sure she necessarily recognized me, but I had to do it. Like I waited till there were less people there, and I felt bad because I may have upset her a bit, but I had to do it because I mean, it was on Facebook. Everyone knew her son died, and I don't know if it was a congenital disease or just an all of a sudden sickness. But I mean, I'm struggling with this. Like, did I make her feel worse? But if someone just came up to me and said, "Can I give you a hug?" I think I'd appreciate it more than not.
I gotta go back to the assumption thing. I have no idea. You have no idea what she feels, right? You have no idea what she loved it or hated it, where you just let go. She can take care of her, right? You gotta take care of you,
I can't imagine losing my son.
right? Neither can I, even with everything. You're beautiful for doing that, for reaching out, Jen. Especially because you know you're not sure if anybody else has either.
I think it's better sometimes when people say something than don't. Like the silence is really hard, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
Yeah.
mean, I remember that from the beginning. I was
I
like,
know.
people were talking to me because they didn't know what to say. And I'm like, just say something. Like, I
Yeah.
may get mad at you for what you said, but at least you said something. At least you showed up. At least you were willing to be there rather than hiding and disappearing.
Acknowledging that this happened too, right?
Yeah.
Like you not saying it isn't gonna like you're not gonna remind me that my husband passed away.
Right.
I'm well aware of this fact.
Yeah, like it's on my mind 24/7, every minute of every day. I'm aware, right? Like it's there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Except for those brief moments where we forget and we come home and we're like, oh, no, you're not here.
Yeah.
Like,
Haven't
when the
had-
reality hits all over again. But yeah, it's,
I haven't
yeah.
had those moments yet where I forgot. Like, I just feel like it's this constant presence, his absence. Like it's weird. Yeah.
The silence, the emptiness. Yeah, silence is deafening. The empty space
Yeah.
is like
But there's obviously those like reminders where it's like, oh my God, this is real.
Yeah.
You know,
yes.
day I have those like, oh my God, like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're taking. That's the second year of the WTF. Yes, but yeah, you're starting. Yeah. Hello, reality.
Or you kind of come into that every once in a while. Like, oh,
Yep. Breathe. All right, I gotta head off. I gotta make sure that I pick up my daughter. I am often late, as you can probably tell, and I often get side eye from the teacher for being the last parent picking her up. I get in trouble with her too. Guys, after this, take a break if you can, like just to to make things clear. I'll be reaching out to you. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. You guys, Suvi and Marie, you will have the access to these videos this group as well for the next week until we can wrap up. But we're here. And obviously Jen and Rachel, everybody else who's part of the group, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to lend a ear as well. Okay. You okay with that, Marie?
I am just doing some things with my daughter.
All
Mainly my
right.
attention.
I'm glad you stayed on to the end. You said you weren't sure if you'd be able to, and I'm glad you did.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Have a good weekend. Oh no, I'll see you in the group everywhere. I'm here. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I got-